Hello everyone, in this video we will be talking about monohybrid cross. Now mono always means single and hybrid means that crossing will be done. So Mendel was the one who initiated the experiments in the genetics and he started with the pea plant. His first genetic cross was monohybrid cross in which inheritance of single character was traced. So he took single character when he was doing the monohybrid cross, and let's study how he progressed. Now in the first video of this chapter we have already discussed that pea plant had 7 characters and each character was available in 2 contrasting traits. Now let's take a character and we have taken here plant height as to be one of the character. Now, if you remember, plant height was a character and it was available in 2 contrasting traits. One was the dominant trait and another was the recessive trait. Dominant was the one which will always be expressive and recessive will be the one which will always express in the homozygous recessive condition. So if you have not watched my video on the genetic terminology, please watch it, it will help you. So in the case of plant height, the dominant trait was tallness and the recessive trait was dwarf. You can even say it as short. Now we are starting with a genetic cross and whatever rules I am going to tell you, you need to follow them when you will be making a cross. So first of all, we will be writing parents and one parent will act as tall and another parent will act as dwarf. Suppose this tall one is a male plant and this dwarf one is a female plant. Now, what would be the allelic composition of this parent? Alleles also I have discussed in the genetic terminology. Please watch that video number 2. So, for the genotype of tallness, it could be capital T or it could be capital T small t, right? But here we are starting off with the homozygous dominant condition and contrastingly here. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. Don't forget to press the bell icon for the recent updates. We will be taking small t and small t. Remember, whenever you are taking the alleles are taken as per the first alphabet of the dominant trait. So here tallness starts with alphabet T. That's why I have taken capital T for the dominant trait and small t for the recessive trait. You will never ever take small d. It has to be taken in contrast to the alphabet which you have taken for the dominant trait. Now you have written the parents, you have written their genotype as well. Genotype means again the allelic combination which you have written. Now what will happen when gametes will form? Out of both these, only one will go. Out of both these, only one will go. That means male gamete will be capital T and female gamete will be small t. Now, when fertilization will happen, of course, you know that male and female gamete, they have to fuse together. So, fertilization is going to happen and this will produce the F1 generation or the filial 1 generation. So in the first generation, this T, capital T and small t. So one has came from the male parent, another has came from the female parent and this has result in the formation of a zygote. Ultimately it will develop by embryogenesis and then an individual will be formed, right? Now what would be the expression of this capital T small t? Because it has one dominant allele and I said earlier too that whenever dominant allele and recessive allele they are present together, it is always the dominant gene that is going to express. That means here the phenotypic expression will be tall only. That means when you will cross a tall with a dwarf, in F1 generation, 100% offsprings will have the phenotype of tallness and they will have genotype as capital T small t. That means if you talk about this capital T small t, then this is heterozygous dominant. Why am I saying heterozygous dominant? Because one allele is dominant and another allele is recessive. Now we are going to study how is F2 generation produced. So remember, we have received the F1 generation, and whenever F1 generation is crossed with the F1 generation, we receive the F2 generation. That means we received capital T and small t as the genotype of the F1 generation. Now if we will cross this plant with itself, means when self-pollination is done, then we will cross it with capital T small t only, and the offsprings which we are going to get, they will define our F2 generation. Here I would like to introduce a term to you that is known as Punnett square. There was a scientist whose name was Punnett. He developed the Punnett square with an intention so that gametes can be shown in the form of square. Now see here, suppose this capital T and small t is male parent and this capital T small t is a female parent. So we will follow first the same process of writing a genetic cross. We will write the parents here. Here one parent is capital T small t and we have considered it to be as the male, and another parent is capital T small t and that we have considered as the female. Now what is going to happen? The next process will be the formation of gametes. Here in this case, because the condition is heterozygous, thus 50% of the gametes will receive capital T and 50% of the gametes will receive small t. So here also same thing will be applied. 50% of the female gametes will be with capital T and 50% of the female gametes will be with small t. Now we will use the Punnett square here to understand how we can find out the genotype of the F2 offsprings. So first what we will do, we will write male here and female here. Means we will be writing female gametes on this axis and we will be writing male gametes on the x-axis, right? So male gametes, they are 2 capital T small t. We will write capital T small t, right? Now we will write the female gametes. Female gametes capital T small t. We will write here capital T small t. Now how we have to go about? We will first cross this with this, so it will become capital T, capital T. Now we will cross capital T with small t. Always dominant allele has to be written first and then comes the recessive allele. Then we will cross this with this and it will become capital T small t because we have to write dominant allele first, and then we will cross this with this. That means it will become small t small t. That means how many individuals we have received? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this Punnett square is ultimately helping us what is the genotype of the 4 individuals that we have received in the F2 generation, right? Now we will be writing the phenotype. Now you can see here 2 dominant alleles are present. So of course the expression is going to be dominant, and dominant expression was tallness or tall only. Here the expression is capital T small t. So one dominant allele is there, that means the expression will be dominant only. Here also the expression will be dominant because it has one dominant allele, and whenever dominant allele comes with a recessive one, always dominant expresses. Here there is this similarity. No dominant allele is present, only recessive alleles are present in 2 number. So here the expression will be dwarf, right? So if you calculate the phenotypic ratio, in this case, phenotypic ratio means how many individuals are of which morphology. So there are 2 morphology which we have received. One is tall and the other is dwarf. How many offsprings we have received in total? We have received 4 offsprings in total, out of which 3 are tall and 1 is dwarf. So my phenotypic ratio will become 3:1, means 3 tall and 1 dwarf. So whenever in exams phenotypic ratio will come, you must know how to calculate it. Right? Now we will look in for the genotype ratio. While calculating the genotype ratio, you need to move in this way. First, you will move in column 1 up to down, then in second column up to down, and we will be calculating the genotypic ratio. Now see here, the first individual which we have received has the genotype of capital T, capital T. How many individuals are with such genotype? Only 1. So we have written it, we will cut it. Now the next individual is capital T, small t. How many individuals are with such genotype? Of course, this is the one and this is the another. So overall, how many are with capital T, small t? 2. Now we have written, that's why we are cutting it. Now the last genotype with which we are left is small t, because if you come to column number 2, we have already written capital T, small t. That's why I am not recounting it. Rather, I am coming to small t, and there is only one such individual. So we have to write the genotype ratio in the same order. Means the genotype ratio, it will be written as 1:2:1. Now how to cross check whether you have calculated it wrong or right? I said that total individual form in this cross are 4. So if the numbers you will add on together, you have received 1:2:1. So that means if you will add on 1 to 2 and then to 1, you will get 4. That means you have taken every individual. You have not skipped any one. So this is the way to go about with the cross-checking. In my next video, we will be talking about probability in the case of monohybrid cross only. This is also going to be very important. I hope this tutorial was helpful to you. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. Thank you.